So, yeah, as some of you may already know, as I've been in the Satoshi community a few times now, but I'm Timothea, and I'm one of the co-founders of FORE Protocol. In terms of my background, I've spent the majority of my career in within the fintech sector, specifically in marketing for data, mobile, and payments. But the last 5 years I've spent in the DeFi space, which 5 years in crypto feels like an eternity, I'm sure. A lot of people on the call can relate. But most recently, I was CMO of an exchange aggregator, a project that I was with from inception and helped get to a top 100 market cap project, and left a year and a half ago to start building FORE. And yeah, it's been a exciting and crazy ride ever since. So yeah, looking forward to sharing more about FORE with the community.
Perfect. And last time you were with your colleagues on the Discord, maybe you can tell something about them, like this history, maybe how many people are in the team and who are these people?
Sure. So yeah, on the FORE team, we've got around 28 of us now. It was started just last year with us three co-founders. So a pretty global team of executives, data scientists, developers, marketing strategists, from a variety of different backgrounds, whether Fortune 500 companies, DeFi projects like Axie Infinity, and some of the largest hedge funds in the world. So we have a very diverse team, both in terms of the regions they come from and the backgrounds. But the one thing that really connects us all is our passion for decentralization, and also our value system, just wanting to not just the building itself, but how we build a project.
By the way, I know I never asked this before. The project you worked for as a CMO, is there any correlation with FORE Protocol? Like, are there similarities in terms of what those projects were actually all about? Did that form an inspiration to FORE Protocol?
Yeah, I mean, it was a decentralized exchange aggregator, so it was tackling centralization in the crypto space. So I would say there's certainly synergy there. The unscrupulous behavior of centralized exchanges is what we were trying to combat at my previous company, and right now we're trying to combat that in a prediction space. The centralized entities, the casinos, the bookmakers, and how they operate and try to extract as much value from users. So I guess there's synergy there. It's more of an anti-centralization kind of ethos.
Great. So let's progress to the idea of FORE Protocol. So please tell us, what is it all about?
Sorry, I was muted that. So yeah, great place to start. I mean, FORE really is the first of its kind, in that it is a truly decentralized peer-to-peer predictions ecosystem that's powered by people. So people can create prediction markets, people can determine market odds, they can participate in markets against each other, and even validate the market outcomes themselves. So this creates a truly limitless predictions market where you can find or create markets on any type of event, whether sports, esports, current affairs, or one that's quite prevalent today, whether or not Donald Trump will go to jail. The number of people that will join the AMA, the number of people that will ask questions in the AMA. You can literally create markets on anything, providing there is a verifiable source. So yeah, that's one thing that really doesn't exist out there right now. And another kind of core benefit is, unlike with these centralized entities, users of the platform are actually rewarded for using FORE. So you would never see a casino sharing its profits with punters, but on FORE, the platform fees are redistributed to users for all of their productive activity. So the people who are creating the markets, they earn 0.5% of the total market size. The people who are participating, they have incredibly low fees. they determine the odds and have the trustless payout as you would in a decentralized ecosystem. And then the analysts, the validators, they validate the market outcomes and earn a share of 2% of the total market size. So this creates a self-regulating and self-sustaining ecosystem where the house doesn't win, the users themselves do. And importantly for us as well, the users, when they are rewarded in our FORE's hyper-deflationary utility token. So the supply of the token is inversely correlated with the activity on the platform. Really simply, as activity increases, the supply reduces. We have several deflationary mechanisms that we can touch on a little bit later, but ultimately, it's factored into the protocol use to ensure that our utility token is deflationary.
All right. Thank you, Timothea, for the introduction. I believe that there are still, a lot more.
Losing you, Jonas. So let me proceed. So I'm pretty sure that we will discuss all the details of the FORE protocol once you're gonna respond to the questions selected from our community. So we can just proceed to the part 1 if you're ready.
Yeah, let's go.
So same as the Discord, I'm gonna read to you each question, but I'm gonna also drop it to the Satoshi Club for you to see it in text. Maybe sometimes it's easier in case you lose me as a sound. Okay, so here we are with the first question. So the main disadvantages of traditional prediction markets come from the inherent centralization. How does the FORE protocol solve this problem, and how does it differ from the traditional prediction market? And users want their betting and prediction platforms to be transparent and fair. So does the FORE protocol offer a transparent and fair earning system to users in this regard?
That's a great question and a really good one to start off with as well, I think. So I agree with the person who asked this question that a lot of the disadvantages of predictions come from centralization. Prediction markets themselves are not inherently bad, but what is bad and rightfully creates such negativity in this space are the incentive structures that these centralized entities like casinos and like bookmakers employ to make sure that the house always wins. I mean, Vegas just reported its most profitable year ever. And at the same time, we're seeing record player losses. And the reason for this, there's the minimum bet sizes are increasing. They're halting payouts. They're blocking accounts when you win, and even blocking you from the premises when you earn too much money. They give you intentionally bad odds and high and hidden fees that are kind of hidden into the T&Cs. And really, ultimately, for those entities to succeed, you have to lose. But despite that, people still want to take positions on the outcomes of events. Even in a recession, the global online betting market reached $80 billion last year and is expected to reach $134 billion by 2028. So, but even though the industry is growing in value, it's only the centralized entities who are benefiting. But for us, we saw the emergence of Web3 shifting power from the centralized entities to the individual, but no one was doing this with prediction market. So we saw a huge opportunity here to really disrupt an industry that has seen very little innovation over the years, and ultimately has built its success on the exploitation of its users. So we want to change that, and the way that we're doing that is, if as they say, the house always wins, you have to get rid of the house. So we are decentralizing this industry via a peer-to-peer, people-powered ecosystem. And then this shifts the power away from these centralized entities and really creates an opportunity for all participants to take part and all participants to share in the rewards and share in the benefit from the activity. So we've created a decentralized predictions ecosystem where the users hold the power. So we don't create markets ever on FORE, the users do, and earn the rewards for doing so. You're not participating against us as a house, because there is no house. The house always wants to lose, you're participating against other players. So on FORE, it doesn't really matter if players win or lose, unlike with a traditional bookmaker. So on FORE, you're participating in peer-to-peer markets against other players. You are determining the odds via this participation, and they have incredibly low and transparent fees, which are then redistributed to the users as well. So really the result is a transparent and fair predictions ecosystem where everyone has the opportunity to participate and earn rewards on a limitless number of markets.
So by the way, do these characteristics or features make you like the first of its kind within the decentralized space?
Yeah, the end-to-end decentralization of the platform does make us the first of its kind in the space. So there are competitors. You have the likes of Polymarket, for example, which is a blockchain DeFi predictions ecosystem, but they operate still quite like a traditional bookmaker in that they control what kind of markets you see on there. They ultimately determine the validation. So as much as there are projects that are certainly getting closer to being like decentralized prediction markets, there is no entity that is in the same way that we are entirely decentralizing that and sharing the rewards back to the users as well.
That's interesting. Always been the first, to actually bring decentralization into a particular industry is a big advantage, not just for now, but also for the future as well. So I think we can proceed to the next question now.
Sorry, that was a little bit garbled to me. I didn't hear everything you said there.
Yes, while we proceed to the next question, I can just ask people, please close your microphones, please, because we hear a lot of disturbing sounds. Please, guys, make sure that your microphones are off. Okay, so meanwhile, I'm proceeding with the next question, question number 2. Okay, with FORE peer-to-peer platform, how can users find its benefits? For example, how do users create markets? How do users participate with each other in market? And how do users validate the market? And how is it different from traditional bookmaker? In your website, it is informed that the FORE protocol plans to be chain agnostic. So I'm new to this technology term. Probably many people feel the same way. So can you explain chain agnostic in more detail and what is it like and how it looks like?
Okay, there's a lot of questions in one question there, so I'll start with the first one, how users create markets and participate against each other. But firstly, just to reiterate the fact that FORE is not a prediction market itself, but simply a set of smart contracts that enables user creation, participation, and validation of prediction markets. Typically, prediction markets, whether they are casinos, exchanges, or bookmakers, are very siloed by the types of markets they offer and their regions. But really, as humans, it's very rare that someone is only interested in one subject matter. So we wanted to build something where people could create or find, or if they can't find it, create markets on literally anything, all in one place. And we wanted to make it incredibly easy to do so as well. So on FORE Predict, which we've had our testnet running for 12 weeks. We've just closed it in the run-up to Mainnet, but Mainnet will be live very soon, just after we complete our audit. So everyone will be able to do this very soon. You head to the platform, click Create Market, and you set the market title. So, for example, it could be, will there be more than 300 questions asked at the end of FORE's AMA with Satoshi Club on June 14th? And then you would add a description with some kind of background and also details on the resolution of the market. So this market resolves to yes if there are over 300 questions, or no if there are under 300. And then you could also add in conditions like if the AMA is cancelled or moved to another time, the market resolves to no. Things like that are important in user-created markets to prevent a dispute. And then, you'd set the end prediction time just before questions started and the start validation time sometime after the AMA was due to end. You'd add a verification source, which would be the link to this Telegram group. And then you or I as a creator can add liquidity to the market too. So you can determine those initial odds at 50-50 or any other ratio. Then the market creation fee is just 10-4, which is then burned. So this is something that we added to prevent people just spamming with markets. And then you click create, and that's it. The market is live, and everyone in this AMA could head to FORE and participate in the market as this AMA was going on, and then validate once the event was over. So it really is that simple. Can you imagine being able to, on a traditional bookmaker, create a market like that in real time, and even to then earn a fee, earn a share of the fee for validating whether or not the market outcome resolved correctly. So that's really how that works, that process. And I think that's why we're building what we're building is so different, because it's an entire predictions ecosystem where you can participate even if you aren't a better, quote unquote. You can be a subject expert in sports or crypto or anything, create markets and generate income via that. I think there was then a question on chain agnostic. So chain agnostic simply means that we are not going to be wed to any one chain. I think that's important for us, again, because if we want to build a global limitless prediction market, we want it to be accessible to as many people. Want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. So we've already integrated 3 chains into the protocol. That's Arbitrum, Phantom, and Polygon. We plan to continue to deploy new chains, and also our ultimate goal is not just to have different versions of the platform on different chains, but to have cross-chain prediction markets. That's what we're working towards at the moment. So pretty exciting times.
Yeah. And by the way, you mentioned that your testnet was closed just recently, and you also transitioning to mainnet soon. First of all, do you have a specific date when the mainnet will actually be released? And also, transitioning from the testnet to the mainnet, were there challenges that were noticed? Were there major issues that had to be fixed and resolved, and just to assure users that the mainnet is completely free from all of these issues?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. So on the first one, in terms of the date, the production of mainnet is done. We're just waiting on the completion of our security audit. So the token will be live on the 30th, and then we're expecting the mainnet to be live shortly after that. But we don't have a specific date, as we're awaiting the final sign off from the audit. Obviously, we would never want to release a platform until it's undergone a significant audit by one of the leaders in this space. And then the second question was around the transition from testnet to mainnet. Well, one of the reasons we had a testnet was, as a people-powered predictions platform, we don't want to just build market structures that we think people will want. Really, everything that we build is via the lens of this is what our users want, this is what our users need. So it was an awesome exercise in understanding what worked on the platform, what didn't. We had very few critical bugs. I think the biggest issue we had was an infrastructure overload when we had too many people on our testnet, which is, I guess, a good problem to have. And yeah, it's an amazing thing to be able to be in an industry like this, where we have the minds of the entire community as a collective being able to build with us and suggest new market ideas, suggest a different approach to the dispute resolution. So to your question, no, that there wasn't any issues or struggles, because every hurdle or every bit of feedback that we had has helped us make this, the platform better. So will the platform be perfect on day one? For us, we're going to be iterating, constantly from launch. So while we will be releasing a fully audited and bug-free platform, knock on wood, on day one, the goal is not just to be launching with an absolutely perfect platform because we think that we've nailed it. We know that over time that as we gain more users and as we also try and go more mainstream, which ultimately is our goal, that there's going to be new market types, different upgrades to the UI, additional integrations to make on ramps easier. So we will never be done building or iterating.
All right. Thank you for your answers. I think we can go ahead to the next question now.
Yes. Let's see question number 3. Okay, here we are. What is the role of NFTs within the FORE protocol, and how do they contribute to maximizing value extraction for users? How are creator NFTs and analyst NFTs used to incentivize market creators and validators, respectively? So can you also provide a detailed explanation of NFT minting and validation process?
Okay, yeah, that's another great question. So I'll just start off with the fact that FORE is really the first prediction market that uses NFT market and validation structures. And I'll explain why we went for this model. But essentially, via our NFT validation model, we build out a decentralized network of validators or analysts, and they perform the role of a decentralized oracle, really, by confirming market outcomes and uploading the results from these real-world events to the blockchain. And this is done via analyst NFTs, and why we went for this model instead of staking, other than the obvious SEC crackdown on staking, is because the NFTs give us a non-inflationary way to incentivize activity beyond minting and distributing tokens. So we've enabled a multiplier effect according to the number of validations, successful validations, of course, which enables analysts to level up and earn a larger share of each market that they validate, and increase their earning power, which ultimately increases their NFTs resale value, because we've also built an NFT marketplace. So this allows us to provide additional rewards without ever minting new tokens for supply. And in the same vein, one of the key priorities for us with this was to design a mechanism that would have deflationary dynamics. So anytime someone mints an analyst NFT in order to participate, 1,000 FORE is burned and permanently removed from circulation. So the NFT minting and validation process removes a large portion of tokens from supply. But we don't only use NFTs for validation itself. Every market, in fact, is actually created as an NFT, which provides an option for a secondary market for markets themselves. So let's say you created a market on the Super Bowl, and this blew up and had millions of FORE in. So you, as that market creator, would earn 0.5% of that market. But let's say there's still a month to go until the Super Bowl, and you want to cash out now. So you could list your market via your market NFT. Someone could see that this is a market that will continue to gain traction, and then buy it from you, and you would get the value of what they agreed to buy the NFT at, and then the creator rewards to go to them. So we're always trying to solve for ways in which people can really generate income through predictions in different ways beyond just like the traditional, as I said, just beyond the traditional betting, quote unquote.
All right. I think the use cases that you've mentioned for NFTs are quite clear. So maybe we might need to go ahead and proceed to the next question for now.
Yes, thank you, Jenna. So the question number 4. Here we are. So I read that the FORE token uses a hyper-deflationary mechanism. So can you tell us how the deflationary measures are implemented in the FORE token? Do you equip it with the deflation features like your other competitors?
Okay, so yeah, this is one of my favorite parts to touch on, and maybe for personal reasons as well. So a bit of a backstory to why we as the founders focus so heavily on what we call hyper-deflationary mechanisms. At the back end of, I guess it's 2021, the other founders and I were going full degen on stupidly inflationary DAOs. And yeah, like in thinking about it in hindsight, I worked in the space for 5 years. One of my co-founders comes from a traditional finance background, from world-leading hedge funds. Even though we knew deep down that these could never work because these crazy inflationary tokenomics, we were still kind of blindsided by the astronomical APYs we saw and just wanted to get involved. Obviously, we lost a ton of money in doing so, as I'm sure a ton of people did as well. But what we learned from that is that we wanted to build something different and sustainable that actually takes into consideration basic economics, which projects like that grossly overlook. So that we don't have staking or passive income in any kind of traditional sense, but we obviously have a reward mechanism that is sustainable, deflationary, and fee driven. So we are never minting new tokens for rewards. We sustainably reward activity through fee redistribution. So that incentive drives further activity on the protocol, which then reduces the token supply, and the cycle continues. So basically, there's two main factors to this. There is one, the sustainable reward model, and two, the activity-driven deflation. So as I said, instead of minting new tokens for rewards like other projects, we reward users by distributing the platform fees back to them for this productive activity. So half of the platform fees are redistributed for activities like market creation and validation, which basically allows users to generate income through quick and easy activity on the protocol, but it's still productive activity, because we think that in order for a reward model to be sustainable, it has to be attached to some sort of productive activity rather than just a mint function. So yeah, of that 5% maintenance fee taken from at the end of the closing of the market, 0.5 goes to the market creator, 2% is shared among validators, and then 1% is burned and removed from circulation permanently. So that kind of ties in nicely, I guess, to the activity-driven deflation. So rather than hosting arbitrary burn events like many projects in the space do, the deflationary nature of FORE is built into the protocol itself. So really simply, as activity on the platform increases, the supply decreases. And this is driven by several core functions. It's driven by the market participation. As I just said, 1% of all markets are burned on market resolution. NFT minting, as I've touched on, 100% of FORE used to mint NFTs is burned. And then we have a few other means of removing FORE from circulation: incorrect validation penalties, market creation fees, raising a dispute, and a few others as well. So we really believe that this sustainable reward model, alongside the activity-driven deflation, is more promising than gimmicky inflationary staking or passive income models. We get asked all the time, what is the passive income on FORE? But ultimately, I think a lot of us in the space will have seen that the value promised by these models is superseded by the heavily inflationary tokenomics that power them. So our model really encourages organic growth, user acquisition, and sustainability of the protocol itself, and generates long-term revenue generating opportunities for active participants.
All right. By the way, I'll go ahead and also drop the link to the tokenomics on the group. Yeah. So those who still want to have an understanding about the token model and also the tokenomics, can go ahead and follow the link.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So thank you to Matia for your answers so far. Yeah. So I think we can go ahead to question number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so let's see the next one. Dropping it into the chat. So based on your roadmap, it was notified that you have a TG for FORE token in Q2 2023. Can you tell us more specific information about the tokenomics that will be available during the TG? And may you include the benefits and utilities of FORE token holders can expect? And lastly, could you also tell us a bit about how the rewards will be calculated for users who confirm the result of the market? Will this be the same rate for everyone, or it will depend on the capital invested by the user? And also, will this reward be deposited daily in my wallet?
Okay, so we touched on the tokenomics just now, but I'll jump into the token utility and benefits. But firstly, yes, our TGE is in Q2 at the very end. Our token generation listing will be on June 30th, so just 2 weeks from now. So in terms of the utility of the token, and also firstly, I know many projects claim that their native token is a utility token, but really most projects offer very little utility other than staking, which is arguably not a utility on its own, at least not by SEC standards. So, but FORE is a true utility token because it's the sole currency on the platform and will have utility from day one. As soon as our mainnet is live, FORE will have full utility because all markets are created in FORE and creator rewards are paid out in FORE as well. All market participation, again, is in FORE. All winnings from successful market positions are rewarded in FORE. All validator rewards paid in FORE, which can then either be claimed directly to your wallet or compounded into the value of your analyst NFT, as I previously mentioned, to increase your earning potential. Then NFT access, users can mint, buy, or sell any FORE NFT on the marketplace, which is priced in FORE. In terms of governance, holding FORE obviously will enable governance of the protocol in areas like market verification. And then, in the future, we also have other areas of utility like access to different events, metaverse access, and things like that. But ultimately, the core utility is the fact that FORE is the sole currency, and you create, play, you participate, validate, all using FORE. And I think the second part of that question was around how the rewards are calculated. So that really comes down to the power in your NFT. So we wanted to create a democratic system where that it isn't monopolized because someone is able to buy in as a whale and then validate markets in a way that benefits them simply because they hold more. We decided that every validator starts on a blue level NFT. All NFTs they start with 1,000 FORE, and you can't buy additional power, you can only earn it. So the rewards are provided for correct verification of markets, and then this is rewarded as power into your NFT. So you can decide whether you want to, as I said, claim that FORE immediately into your wallet or to use that FORE to power up your NFT. So that powering up compounds your rewards, increases the value and the earning potential. As the higher the power of your NFT, the greater share you get of the reward pool. We also have tiers to our NFTs. So there's 4 tiers. As I mentioned, you start at blue, silver, gold, and black. And as you upgrade your NFTs based on the number of validations, this adds a multiplier effect to your earning potential as well. So we are currently working on the optimal validation requirements just ahead of mainnet in order to upgrade to each tier. But one thing I will say is that this will increase over time. So the tier structure, the tier validation structure that we launch with on day one will not be, 6 months down the line, it will be a lot harder to level up your NFT. So there's a huge kind of incentive there for day one validators to lock in those low kind of validation tiers.
Yes, so I do agree with you that within the space we continue to see tokens that have no utility at all, and it's quite impressive to know that part of what is embedded within the FORE protocol is to ensure that there are actual real utilities for the FORE token. That this way the holders can expect a lot more benefits buying, holding, and also making use of the tokens within the platform. Thank you for clarifying and for your answers so far.
Thank you for your questions.
Okay, let's
So I think we're good,
the last question of part 1.
good to
Question
go
number
for the
6.
last. Yeah. Go ahead, Pablo.
Yeah. So I read that FORE Protocol is having a public sale whitelist, and thousands have already joined the whitelist for community round for FORE's public sale. So can you also provide some details to us for the public sale of FORE Protocol? How can we join the whitelist? Is the KYC needed, and when the whitelist will be closed?
Great. Well, I'm glad that your community are already aware of the public sale. Yes, thousands have joined already, but that doesn't mean it's too late to take part. The whitelist is open for another 5 days. So we'll just drop the link in the chat, but you can find it on foreprotocol.io/public sale. I think I have rights to send in the chat right now. But basically how it works, many projects tend to overcomplicate things and make their public sale and the whole process quite convoluted. We really just wanted to keep it simple. You sign up to enter the whitelist. The whitelist closes on the 19th of June, and then we will email you with next steps on how to carry out KYC, which, yes, to the person's question, you will need to carry out KYC. It is necessary. And we can share a list of excluded regions, which is not determined by us, but by legal. So shortly after our public round will then be live to whitelisted and KYC'd wallets on a first come, first served basis until the round is filled. So as I said, we wanted to keep it pretty simple. Another layer that we did want to add to it, though, because as we've touched on, everything about FORE is about incentivizing activity that that provides value to the ecosystem. So we wanted to kind of test that out with a referral program for the public sale itself. So when you enter the whitelist, a referral link is generated. And then every friend that signs up through your link, you receive additional entries. And the more entries you receive, the more chance you have of winning 100,000 FORE. So one person takes that home. So that's, there's two kind of two wins there. One is the chance to participate in the public sale, and then secondary to that is the potential to win 100,000 FORE.
All right. So by the way, I have also sent the link to the group chat. So those who are still interested in participating should go ahead. Go ahead and use the link.
So we wish you good luck with the upcoming events, especially the
so
events that are played for the end of this month. And who knows, maybe we can hear soon from you with some updates to know how the FORE Protocol is progressing. Maybe some, I don't know, some new things to be added to the project. So you're always welcome here. You're also invited to share with us the updates through the Satoshi Club. Just, I don't know, sending the news links. You're always welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's definitely lots to come. So hopefully your community can follow along. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, too. Thank you. And thanks everyone for taking part.
Thanks, guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Right,
thanks everyone
everyone
for taking part in this AMA and sending their questions. And we want just to celebrate, to congratulate the winners. And guys, have a nice day ahead, and be sure to be back with a new AMS. We're gonna be here in Satoshi Club soon. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Pavel. Bye.
Bye, everyone.